Okay, K-Dub here, Mr. Cobb. We dug the pellets out, and we'll start from left to right, just like we did on our firing. And the red fires have a ballistic tip. Can't get in the camera here. We're trying to use an iPad. Sorry. And you see the tip actually lays over. I'm not for sure what it does when it actually makes contact with the bottle. They're kind of an interesting round. They have a little diamond tip in the in the front of the lead pellet, and you can see here these are what they look like before, and then each one of them, the tips seem to lay over, and the pellet deformed a little bit. I mean, with enough speed, those would be pretty devastating, but I'm just kind of wondering if the tip is laying over when it first hits the bottle. They were quite a ways into the sand before I shook it up. Then over here's the magnums. They seem like they compress when they hit, and they have a little ring, a little groove, that when they first make contact, I think that head compresses. And I'm just going to do this, set this here where you can see. Take one of these out and compare them to. You want to open the lids on those?
Yeah.
Basically, it looks like well, it looks like that before it hits. So maybe if I set these on the lid, standing up, you can get a better idea of what's happening with those pellets as they make contact with the exterior of the bottle. They're pretty accurate. They do pretty well, especially longer range. And to give a comparison here, the red fires are a neat looking pellet until they hit something, of course. But it seems to be the same. The same thing happens with the red fires. Every time. So there's two. It looks like all of them kind of lay over. And I think out of a higher performance pellet gun, that they definitely would do a lot of damage. And they seem to be accurate at closer range. At further range, nothing seems to contend with the master points. So here's a master point before and after. If I can get them to stand up, give you an idea of how well the master points stay together and retain their shape. I really like these rounds. If I go back and buy more to shoot out of this gun, this is what I would use. And this one, the Hunters. Oops, grab a Hunter out of here. Pretty much a round nose pellet, and they seem to be somewhat accurate. Not as they are accurate at close range. Of course, it could just be me, but further away, the master points are the way to go. And then these also retain their shape very well, and they penetrate pretty well. Further range, they deflect off the bottles. Of course, plastic bottle, I can see why. And then the last one was the match, and that's just a flat nose pellet. It's supposed to be for target practicing, is what I think Gamo, what it said on the actual packaging, which I don't have now. And thanks for shooting paper so that you can see your rounds, see where you're hitting a little easier. And these ones, they deform a little bit, but they're hitting rocks and gravel and stuff in that sand. So here's what they look like. And there's a one that hasn't been shot. That's what I've been doing with all these, putting one that hasn't been shot, and then one that has been shot. Now, one thing that was interesting was there was a pellet here that I thought was pretty cool on the back to the master points. That actually has a little chunk where it actually hit a rock in the bottle. That's a pretty hefty little pellet. So anyway, for whatever it's worth, it's pretty neat. Out of all this ammunition, if I was going to go buy pellets, no matter what type of shooting I'm doing, I would just stick with the master points. Pointed, nice, clean, smooth casting pellet. Seems to hit home every time. You can shoot, we've been shooting like 150 foot, again 600 feet per second. And these little guys, what I like is they're really clean. There's no casting. The difference here is if you look at the magnums, which I really don't see no real benefit to the magnums. Of course, if you're shooting out of a higher power pellet gun, you might see the difference, but the magnums have those casting lines, and they just seem to fly a little squirrely at further range. Not all the time, but it just doesn't give you the consistency that you get out of these little guys. So honestly, for 177, pellets, these are the way to go right here. Nice, clean, pointed nose pellet. So anyway, that's it for now. So K-Dub and Mr. Cobb. Hey, Mr. Cobb.
Shoot them.
Gonna shoot guns. Fun shooting pellet guns. Good practice. We're getting ready for hunting season. Talk to you later.